Can they call Equifax up and say, what do you have on me?
Hawaii's United States senators are demanding new consumer protections following the Equifax breach of over 145 million Americans' personal information. That breach included more than 462,000 consumers in Hawaii. During a Wednesday Judiciary Committee hearing in Washington, Senator Mazie Hirono grilled former Equifax CEO Richard Smith.
It's information free. You don't pay anybody for the information you gather on 145 million people, which is more than 1 out of 3 people in our entire country.
It's a largely free. There are exceptions, obviously, but this business, as you know, we're 118 years old. We're part of a federally regulated ecosystem that enables consumers to get access to credit. So
yes,
that data is there, and it's used at their consent, by the way. Regardless of the type of data we have, if it's your employment data or your income data or your credit data, that data can only be accessed if you as a consumer give the consent for someone to access that.
How does one give consent
if
you're selling the information that you have on them?
So if you as a consumer go to your bank and want to get a credit card, for example, when you sign a contract with the bank for the credit card, you're allowing the bank the access to approve your credit, in this particular case, to give you the best rate and the best line.
So it's not really a free choice, is it? If all of us had the option of not having specific information about us and pretty specific information, if we all could just do that and say, no, we don't want our information to be sold, that would be an easy matter. But if it's tied to the ability for that person to get credit or to do that, then that's not what I would call an arm's length kind of a free choice.
In a Facebook video, Senator Brian Schatz sat down with Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen to talk about the Equifax scandal and what can be done to hold the company more accountable.
Well, first of all, Chris is right. We have to fight against this effort to push everybody into forced arbitration. This will help companies like Equifax, and it will hurt people like you. So we need to fight that effort. Separate from that, Chris and I and others have developed legislation which is very simple. What has happened in the wake of the Equifax scandal is that Equifax was trying to charge individuals for credit monitoring as a result of the problem that they caused. Why shouldn't the OCC consider revoking your charter?
During a banking committee hearing held the day before, Schatz took aim at another huge company, Wells Fargo, for creating millions of fake bank accounts and collecting fees from unsuspecting victims.
The company is growing. The company provides jobs to 270,000 people.
So you're too big?
No, we're not too big at all. I'm just reinforcing that every day we have 270,000 team members that go out and satisfy.
That sounds like
needs.
what you said, is that the first thing out of your mouth was your size.
No, the first thing out of my mouth was our customers, that we serve 1 out of every 3 customers. We take that responsibility very seriously. When you look at the bank in totality today, we're doing many more things right than we are wrong, but I appreciate that today we're talking about Wells Fargo 1 year later.
You know, I'm not an expert in banking, so I want you to explain this to somebody back home. Mm-hmm. You made $21 billion in profits last year. You made a nice salary. I don't want to personalize this. Your board makes better than a nice amount of money. You were COO when a lot of this went down, and now you're CEO. So explain to the man on the street why this is fair.
Senator, I'm not 100% sure. I know what you mean by this, but let me.
You get a promotion. All the people in charge get lots and lots of money. Mm-hmm. And not all the consumers, but lots of consumers get harmed. So just explain to me in plain English why this is fair.
Senator, I've taken responsibility for the mistakes that have been made at the company. I'm taking action in my role as CEO to make Wells Fargo a better bank than it was a year ago. It'll be a better bank in the future. We're taking concrete action, and we're providing. I'm proud of the fact that our bank is the largest small business lender, the largest home lender. We make a difference to Americans every day.
Back to
you
your size
deserve.
again. Yeah.
You
So,
deserve
hold
the
on,
right.
I only have 2 more minutes.
Sure.
It just occurs to me that it's only in financial services, it's only in this industry where people can make such massive errors and there doesn't appear to be accountability.